Welcome to the Manchester United news roundup, news transfer roundup, and all of that. And as the summer window is heating up, basically Manchester United are shifting gears. But it looks like things are not moving as everybody expects or everybody plans for it to. Under INEOS, there's a more disciplined leadership. The club is operating under a clear intent, focusing on smart signings and strategic outgoings and youth development. But we're going to try and do a breakdown of the current transfer window progress for Manchester United as of the last 24 to 48 hours. And this is as of, July 1st and all of that. Now, we came into this new month, everybody believing that, okay, we're in a new cycle for the PSR and all of that, and that we don't have to worry about money, and we that everything we're doing now is for this new year or for the PSR and for the calendar for Manchester United. But July 1st has come and gone, and we are not hearing much per se. Everything we're hearing are just kind of rumors, unconfirmed things, and all of that. But it is what it is, and we're just here to bring you down and bring a breakdown, basically, for what has happened so far in the Manchester United front. Now, we're going to first start with the one that has been a transfer window long saga, and that is the Bryan Mbeumo deal. Basically, he's a priority signing for Manchester United, and it's in the final stages of the transfer. United are fully focused on sealing the deal for Brentford's forward Bryan Mbeumo, and the optimism is growing. I mean, talks are still active over a restructured deal worth around £65 million, and the add-ons included as well to that £65 million. The player has made it abundantly clear to Brentford and to Spurs that if he leaves, it's only for Manchester United, which is good. At least he has his stance. But Brentford director Phil Giles insists that they won't sell unless the deal is right. But Mbeumo's stance and United's persistence suggests that this one could get done before the end of the week, right? So hopefully it is done, and Rúben Amorim has said that he wants it done before the end of the week because of preseason that starts in 6 days now. And why this matters is because Mbeumo offers versatility, proven Premier League output, and pressing quality. Exactly the profile Rúben Amorim is building around. I'm looking to build around. But there's some arguments because Brentford's comparison of Bryan Mbeumo versus Matheus Cunha and kind of putting them on par based on performances. Given Bryan Mbeumo had a very spectacular season last season, but I think Matheus Cunha has had good seasons and more Premier League experience playing for a first team for Wolves. But it is what it is. We have to keep our eyes out and look out for what is going on and what could happen next. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about this Bryan Mbeumo deal, and let's move on to the next transfer rumor. And the next one is about Fabian Ruiz. He's a midfield surprise target for Manchester United in a surprise move. United are pushing hard to sign Fabian Ruiz from PSG. According to sources that will not count as tier one, he's a metronomic midfielder who quietly had one of the most effective seasons in Europe, 58 games, 6 goals, 11 assists. Despite PSG's desires to keep him, possibly even extend his deal, United also believe that he could bring technical balance. He could also bring a unique style to our midfield, especially if Casemiro, or as Eriksen has left, if Casemiro decides to leave. The deal could also hinge on freeing up funds through sales. And with him being a tactical fit, Ruiz would perfectly fit into Amorim's two-man midfield with Ugarte, Menu offering build-up play and final third creativity. My thoughts on this Fabian Ruiz thing is that all the while he's played for either Spain or Portugal, he's played in midfield 3. And he's played with a midfield anchor, someone who can actually hold play, dictate play, control games and stuff. I don't see the value in signing Fabian Ruiz when we have players like Manuel Ugarte and even Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo cannot be in a midfield 2 with Fabian Ruiz because Fabian Ruiz is not as defensive as Vitinha is. You know, Fabian Ruiz plays in a PSG side that has Vitinha and João Neves, who can also play defensive roles, which allows him to play an attacking role if he wants. We don't have that in Man United except for Manuel Ugarte, and you don't want to tell Bruno to be defensive when he should be a ball-playing guy. Now, in Spain, he has Rodri, he has Bimendi, he has all sorts of midfielders, a variety of midfielders that can play in that midfield with him and allow him to thrive. So I don't see the sense in getting Fabian Ruiz. Everybody might say, oh, he's a good player, he's a great player, blah, blah, blah. But the sense, we're talking about sensible signings here. We need a defensive midfielder, a ball-playing defensive midfielder, because obviously we're losing a person in Christian Eriksen who is a lot older, and also there's a spot in the midfield. Then if we have that player, and maybe say for example Casemiro goes, we have Ugarte, we have Menu, we have even Toby Collier, and we also have Bruno Fernandes, who can possibly play in that position. So tactically, he looks like he fits Amorim's system only if we have that ball-playing defensive midfielder or ball-playing number 6 like Vitinha. Vitinha is kind of player. So for me, I don't feel like there's any sense in getting this Ruiz deal done. The next one is with regards to outgoings, and that is for Marcus Rashford. He's open to an exit, and Bayern are looking. Now, Rashford is expected back at Carrington on July 7th. Obviously, his deal with Villa ended yesterday, which is July 30th, as at the time of recording, and obviously he's going to come back for pre-season if he doesn't go on loan, or if there's no deal on the books for him. But his long-term future remains in the air, as we said. United want a permanent deal, a permanent sale, but the player is also open to a loan or swap deal if it means challenging for trophies abroad, because I think Ben Jacobs was saying that basically he would prioritize going abroad to staying in the Premier League or staying at Man United. Bayern Munich are also monitoring situation, though he's not currently top of their wish list. Barcelona is the player's preferred destination, but no formal bid has arrived for Marcus Rashford. But real talk, let's talk about this Rashford deal. Rashford could still play, but the club is clearly open to moving him on. The price tag, around £40 million. That is what everybody's looking at. But I don't know what you guys think with the whole Rashford situation. Everybody's like done with the whole thing. Everybody's tired of it, and Rúben Amorim also has had enough. And surprisingly, he went on loan. That's to tell you that he had the first half of the season was a bit tough for him, for Man United, but he went on loan to Villa on February 2nd, and he did okay, but that was it. To think that Villa could have signed him, but Villa didn't take the option of signing him. What do you guys think? It is what it is. We have to just move on. On to the next one. Striker plans. Watkins on the radar for Man United. I brought you this news. You must have seen it on some of our socials. Basically, that Man United are interested in Ollie Watkins. Now, with Rasmus Højlund's future under quiet evaluation, Ollie Watkins is being seriously considered. United have already made contact with Aston Villa, with discussions starting back when they were talking about Rashford. I said this to you yesterday. Now, Watkins brings proven Premier League pedigree and is at his peak. He's 29 years of age. If Højlund leaves or struggles in pre-season, Amorim could push for a more experienced striker. But United's stance is that they won't spend crazy on a striker unless it is the right opportunity, and Watkins is under that lens. Now, we're going to talk about Rasmus Højlund. I'm just going to give you maybe just take 30 seconds of your time to talk about Rasmus Højlund. The guy is 22, probably 23 already. And most strikers his age have not been scoring as many goals, except for the freaks of nature like Rasmus Højlund and Kylian Mbappe. I feel like he had a good first season. I know he had a good first season. And he was even young, 19, 20 at the time. Right? And then his second season was horrible. Right? And obviously, it is the second season syndrome that caught up with him. And to think that he was the only striker like in the club, the only guy everybody relied on and all of that. That's something for one to be bothered about, for one to be worried about. But I also feel like if he plays in this third season and he does really well, that's when I can write him off. I have never written Rasmus Højlund off. He's had a poor season. You go and check all my videos. I will not say, oh, Rasmus Højlund was very absolutely garbage or stuff. No. I know he's a young player and he's still yet to hit his peak. He's yet to hit his peak. So I feel like Man United fans should cut him some slack and give him a chance at the third season. But that's my take on it, because the truth is we might be making a mistake getting all the other strikers, maybe apart from Ollie Watkins or Ekitike, because Ekitike is also young like him, or what's his name, or Victor Gyökeres, because if they don't perform, then we're back in this cycle again. Gyökeres is 28, 29, 27, 28. Ekitike is 22. Rasmus Højlund is 22, 23. And then Joshua Zirkzee is 22, 24. Right? Now, I'm saying we need one more striker, but not to let go of Rasmus Højlund because he can come through. And then I can imagine a front three of Joshua Zirkzee and Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha. If you check out Cunha's career playing as a right 10 or left 10, he played with a striker who gave at least 10 to 15 goals, and he was still able to deliver. Check Wolves last season, same thing, right? So what do you guys think? Is this an honest opinion about the whole thing? Because I feel like Rasmus needs to give another chance at the third season, and Man United fans need to kind of stop overreacting, because everybody in the league, in the team for Manchester United had horrible seasons. A horrible 24-25 season. Now, the next one is on Christopher Nkunku and Alejandro Garnacho. Chelsea have offered Nkunku to United as the Frenchman is keen to leave Stamford Bridge. At the same time, Chelsea have asked about Alejandro Garnacho. There's no formal offer for the Argentine, but discussions are ongoing. Now, Nkunku is only viewed as a backup option if other deals fall through. Garnacho's name being in conversations is eyebrow raising and could be a part of a bigger play. If Garnacho goes to Chelsea, I don't think Manchester United fans are going to be worried, because they'll be like, okay, that's him off their plate. And yeah, better than Sancho, right? Better than Sancho, whether we like it or not. But he will be a good addition to Chelsea. And obviously he'll be competing for places, right, with Chelsea, but it is what it is. Better off the books than, just dealing with a whole lot. Then the next one is also Jadon Sancho. Now, there's reports that Juventus are in advanced talks with Jadon Sancho, and United are in club-to-club negotiations with Juventus for Jadon Sancho, who has no future at Old Trafford. I mean, Juve are also speaking with his agents, and they're talking about personal terms, and United are also looking for £25 million to let him go. Now, the likelihood of this happening is very high. Sancho's time is up, and Amorim doesn't see him as part of his project. But I saw, we got me thinking. I saw a big content creator on YouTube talking about this whole Sancho situation, and it got me thinking. Sancho has not really played he hasn't played at all under Amorim, right? He was on loan to Chelsea last season, and that was before Amorim came, and basically Amorim didn't get a chance to see him maybe play for Man United. Probably could have favored him as one of the 210s, but the truth is, I think the club just wanted to get him off the books because of the wage bill, as well as his wages rather, as well as all the other things like, the drama, the fact that he's not working hard and all of that. And I'm sure that the board are done with it, but it is what it is. We just have to keep going, and we have to keep building, and have to just continue to, grow. But we have to move on from Jadon Sancho. I think that's what it is, and all of that. With regards to youth, with regards to like new players coming in and all of that, Diego León has a very big ambition for joining Manchester United. We've tied down several academy products as well. Tied down JJ Gabriel and Jadon Sancho, and the other player that was signed from Southampton, I believe. And then we have Ethan Williams also, he's attracting interest from Club Brugge and all of that. But for Diego León, he has stated that if he comes, that people are thinking that he is going to go on loan. These were his exact words. That people were thinking that he was going to go on loan. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to a couple of things, because he said he's definitely going to... So these are his words. People assume I'll be sent out on loan, but that's not how I see it. I'm going to give everything in preseason, and after 1 or 2 games, I'll be playing with the first team. And that is some ambition here, right? With regards to him joining MUFC, his feelings are indescribable. You can feel so many things. I mean, he said this, that the feelings are indescribable. You can feel so many things. Honestly, I'm very happy, really happy today. I think every player dreams of this, and today I have the opportunity. And that is, what was said basically. With regards to Diego León coming to Man United, I think his first day is supposed to be today, and I think Fabrizio Romano said he's on his way, and so many other reporters have reported him moving to Man United today. We're seeing as we signed him, and his contract starts today. Then obviously, as I said to you earlier, Man United are obviously assessing terms for Ollie Watkins, and continue to discuss a restructured bid for Bryan Mbeumo. But also there are other midfielders in play in this one. 24-year-old Felix Mecha, yet to make contact with the players' representatives, and Dortmund have no intention of selling 24-year-old. Or they have no intention of letting him leave this summer. That's according to MJ Critchley, who is saying that Man United are linked with Felix Mecha, but there's no intention of selling him. Fabrizio Romano also on the Bryan Mbeumo deal says that now, as of today, Man United is focused on closing the Bryan Mbeumo deal as soon as possible, and Manchester United are in the process of that. And obviously, fans are already getting really tired of the whole thing. Then speaking of Sancho, just to round that Sancho part up, Damian Comoli is in advanced talks with Manchester United about Jadon Sancho as Juventus explores contract terms with the players' representatives. Apart from that, I think then the other one that kind of shook us a little bit, but then obviously another report from Fabrizio Romano has confirmed it, is that Manchester United were offered the chance to sign John Duran on loan and cover his wages, but the club rejected the possibility because Manchester United are saying they will not spend crazy money on striker, as they are confident of signing Mbeumo, and it has to be a good deal or a good opportunity, right? So it is what it is. These are news roundups that we're kind of happy to see. But what Fabrizio Romano confirmed at the end of the day is that he has confirmed a here we go for John Duran to Fenerbahce. Yeah, a here we go for John Duran to Fenerbahce, amongst other things. So he's moved, and that's because obviously Jose Mourinho has approved the deal. Another one that I wanted to bring to you, because Man United are linked with this one, is Jonathan David. I saw this while I was watching the game Real Madrid between Real Madrid and Juventus at the Club World Cup. Jonathan David's to Juventus, right? Because he's linked with Man United, I had to bring this. Juventus are close to reaching an agreement with Jonathan David after new proposals sent to the striker. Negotiations on the way, with details to be clarified, as Juventus hope to get the final green light soon. Deal is on for the Canadian 25-year-old international top scoring striker, right? So it is what it is. Hopefully this Jonathan David gets playing, but I think Juventus might want to let go of Kolumwani, who is going back to, I think, PSG, and then Jonathan David eventually becomes one of the lead strikers. But I'm curious to find out what happens when Jonathan David comes. What happens to Dusan Vlahovic? If Dusan Vlahovic is still there at at Juventus, then does that mean that, you know, there's a chance that Man United could seal the deal for Dusan Vlahovic? Let me know your thoughts and feelings. But final thoughts, basically. I know there's a lot of news going on. I just want to bring you only the ones that mean something, right? If it's not, the deal is not on, I'm not going to try to bring it. Now, this isn't just United of old. Amorim's influence, INEOS' discipline, and the long overdue restructuring is showing, and it is not flashy, but it's strategic. You know, Mbeumo and Cunha up front, or it could be like the Real Madrid starting lineup that we see where we have Vini and Garcia playing up front. Vini and Garcia playing up front, or Vini and Kylian Mbappe playing up front. Or we could have the 3-4-3 formation where we have Cunha and Mbeumo playing as the 2-10s, and then we have Joshua Zirkzee, you know, and then you have Cunha, Zirkzee switching roles from time to time and all of that. It will be interesting to see. It will also be a good day in the transfer market if Rashford and Sancho are sold for Man United fans, because I also think Rashford needs a new environment to thrive. And then for Fabian Ruiz, I'm a bit iffy on that one, because he would also want to prioritize playing Champions League. And one thing about the Fabian Ruiz deal is that if he comes, everybody's going to start talking about it the way we talked about Casemiro. Oh, Champions League winner. Oh, PSG's midfield star was Spanish international. Blah, 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 blah. He has a crap season. Oh, he should get out of the club. He should not do this. He should do that. Blah, 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 blah. And then for Watkins, imagine moving from being interested in Gyökeres to Hugo Ekitike to now Ollie Watkins and all of that. I know Ollie Watkins has Premier League experience, and it'd be nice for him to be a good addition. And then, you know, if we have him, we have Erasmus and we have Zirkzee, and all three of them give us 10 goals in the Premier League. Both each 10 goals in Premier League each, and then you have another like 10 goals from Cunha and another 10-15 goals from Mbeumo. Then you have another 10-15 goals from Ahmad, 10-15 goals from Bruno. Trust me, we'll be having a very high scoring Premier League season, if I'm not mistaken, almost 50-60 goals, right, from just these 5 players I've listed. But it's all on the table right now. United are also moving with intent. I know the deals are dragging, but a lot of United fans are losing their patience. But they forgot that INEOS came with a strategy. If it's not working, we're going to pivot. And they said there's always a backup plan to a backup plan to a backup plan. It is what it is. So let me know your thoughts and feelings on all of this. Let me know what you think about the whole situation and the whole transfer market, and what do you think that this INEOS strategy is working. Let me know in the comment section. And thank you so much for helping us reach another milestone. Now we're moving on to the next milestone. Well, God, since the last time, I appreciated you guys. We had we added a few subscribers to our YouTube channel, and now we've crossed it, and we're going to the next milestone. So thank you so much for following us through this journey. I really appreciate. We're heading towards 1,000 subscribers, hopefully, on YouTube. But thank you so much. We'll keep growing, we'll keep building, and we'll continue to grow together. So I really appreciate you all, and I look forward to building this community together and helping us grow together. And some of us will be featured on the channel. But thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything. The moment we post a video, you'll get the update, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.